is Danny from TurnerLabCreations, and welcome to the Basics of Excel. I will be covering many basic fundamental topics in this quick tutorial. You'll learn the user interface, the backstage of the program, some helpful terms, and what Excel is actually used for. Alright, ready to get started? Let me tell you what Excel is used for. Microsoft Excel is an application that will help you create, edit, and view spreadsheets. Now, I personally use this software daily to manage my workflow and also for balancing my finances. There's a plethora of things that you can build with this, but it really is up to your imagination and how you want to go about seeing and visualizing that data that you're working with. Let's go ahead and jump into the software here. So when you first open up Excel, you will be presented with this menu here. From here, you can choose any type of template that you want to select and start working with. And they also have the option for a blank workbook. And if you're new to Excel, I would highly suggest going over this Welcome to Excel. It will show you all the new features that are available in 2016. It doesn't cover everything, but it is a nice introduction. Let's go ahead and click on Blank Work Document. Now that the blank document is loaded, let's take a look at the interface that we're looking at. It looks a little scary to begin with, but don't worry, we'll break it down very easily. This top area here, these are called tabs. And with each tab, you have different areas that you can go to that give you more data. Then you have the thing below it. This is actually a ribbon. So this is a ribbon that pertains to the tab. So if you click on a tab, the ribbon will change depending on the data that you're looking for. Then below this, we have the name box. The name box allows you to search for individual cells. So if I was to type in a reference, for instance, A1, and hit enter, you'll see that it's selected A1 here. Or another example, let's say C3, it will select C3. So it's just a quick way of navigating. Then we also have the formula bar. The formula bar is what allows you to create equations. So if you're trying to add up a bunch of cells, there's equations that will allow you to do that, but that's a little bit more advanced. We'll go over that later. Then you have columns. Just go all the way down like that. And we have rows. They just go across. Each one of these is called a cell. And when we select a range by left-clicking and dragging across, this is called a range of cells. Below here we have sheets, and the plus sign allows you to add sheets. So think of Excel as a book. That's why at the very top it says Book 2. When you create a new workbook, it's just like a book. You have sheets in a book, and you can add as many as you want just by clicking the plus sign here. You have your horizontal and vertical scroll bar. And of course, you have your status bar at the very bottom. The status bar tells you what's going on with the document, as well as what features are happening on your keyboard, or how you're interacting with cells. So it actually does a lot of things. When you're looking at the bottom left, you're going to see ready. This means your document is in ready mode. If you had document protection, like let's say a password protection on your document, you would be able to see that it's going to say that it's protected down here or it's not ready. If I was to put caps lock, I would be able to see that caps lock would show up. So that's something you have to configure. So you'd have to right click and go to, you'll see this is custom status bar. And there's a lot of options you can choose. If you want caps lock, you just turn this one on here. And any other ones that you would want, you could just turn them on and off. It's kind of like a toggle switch. Now if I hit my caps lock key, you'll see that caps lock is now appearing. This is just helpful if you're trying to write in all caps. A lot of data entry uses capitalization. And also at the status bar on the bottom right, if I had data in here, like let's say I put in a bunch of numbers, and I select this range of cells, you'll see that I have 6 selected, and I have a sum total of 634. So that if you were to add all that up, that's what it would be. And the average of all of these is 105.6. On the right of that, you have your document view. So you have normal view here, which shows me the basic range of cells that we're looking at. If I go to page layout, it will show each page as it would print. So this would be page 1, page 2, page 3, and so on and so on. And then if I go to the last one, this is page break, which will actually, let me zoom in here. There's that's the other one next to it, is actually the zoom. So we're just going to bring that all the way up, and you'll see here that the page break shows which page we're on, and if we click and drag this blue line over, you will see that we have a lot of room for page 1 before it hits page 2. So if I wanted to design around content and what's on my pages, I could do it in this mode. This is just one of many ways to go about managing that data. Alright, let's go over the tabs here. So the Home tab is primarily used for designing and styling your document. So you can see there's a lot of things like paint fill, changing the font color, also the sizing of the font I could change very easily, the font type, and also they have formatting, so you could just go over here and click on a particular format style that you want, and it will change it within that cell. So this area is really just for designing and styling. The next one is Insert. And you want to think of this one as like objects. So you're inserting a visual object or a type of object that allows you to interact with the data that you've already put into these cells. So this is a great visualization area, so I would definitely check that out. Then you have page layout. This will show you how you're going to be interacting with the layout of your page. So you can see here you have things like orientation, the size of the paper that you're going to be working with. You can even add in backgrounds if you wanted to have kind of like a watermark on your document. So yeah, this is just really just working with the paper document size and anything that has to do with the layout of how it should print. Formulas are equations that you can put into your document. And this is a little bit more advanced, but an example of this one, I'm going to hit Alt equals, so Alt and equal sign at the very bottom, and you'll see that it's created this like marching ants around the cells that I want to add up, and it's put this formula in for me, which is equal sum, and that is actually under math here. And if we were to scroll down to sum, you'll see here, and all it says for sum when we hover over it is adds all the numbers in a range of cells, and that's it. So you'll see that it's added the references C1, then the colon, which means through, and then we have C6. So C1 through C6. If I hit enter, you'll see that I have 634. So that's what formulas are for, and you can see there's a lot to choose from. There's a lot of drop downs and references, and once you hover over it, it usually tells you what's going on, so it makes it a lot easier to find what you're looking for. Data tab allows you to pull in from multiple sources. So if I have a website and I want to pull information from that website or another document, or let's say I have a server and a database and I want to connect to that database to pull in all my customer information or all my cells for my online company, you can pull it in using this tab, using data connection. This is a very powerful tab if you're using the services for data connections. Review is for markups. So if I wanted to add a comment on this and share this out to people, I would be able to do it within this area. So I would just be like, let's see, this is great. And this would just be a generic comment that I can put here. And now if I was to share the document by going to the top right where it says share and then sending it out to somebody, if they open this, they will see that there is a comment here. And they can also do show all comments, and it will just pop up and kind of give them everything that's on the page with comments. So it just makes it a lot easier for people navigating through that document that you've created. So under the View tab, it gives you different functions for viewing your document a little easier. You have ways of zooming in to a selection. You can actually freeze certain areas, so when you're scrolling, it will stay at the top. And you also have areas for page break and page layout, which I showed you at the very bottom. So those are kind of the most widely used ones. And the last three tabs that you're going to find in the top are not available in the Excel that you have. I've added a add-on which allows me to expand on this program a little bit more. Okay, so that concludes our tutorial. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please like and subscribe. And if you know anybody that can use this, go ahead and share my channel out. I'll have many more videos to come. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.